Once upon a time, there was a settlement. 5 colonists trying to survive in the extreme desert. They didn't have much, but they had some blocks, they had some traps, they were mining metals and collecting resources. Now that their numbers are strong, they might even have some time for some social relations. Of course, the colony still is struggling a bit. The desert does not give them lots of room for joy and happiness. And the world that they live in is tough and the conditions challenging. They're very happy to say they've finally gotten access to a stove and a cook and can start thinking about proper meals and teas and, not eating disgusting paste. The colonists are pleased. They have nice bedrooms, but in order to continue growing, they're gonna need more power. They've unlocked the ability to secure and harness power from the earth via geothermal vents. Though power is a priority, defenses are always a priority, and Coral, the leader of the colony, is always very focused on securing those defenses for her colony. The rice crops are coming in strong. There's a big harvest. People's bellies are full of paste. Hopefully meals soon. The base is small. It's modest, but the colonists don't mind. Wild people choose to wander in occasionally, though this colony has no interest in obtaining them, especially if they have no willingness to defend themselves. We try to get Lunatic to calm down and have some tea, but they insist on attempted murder of a fellow colonist, and they must be brought in for questioning. Nakabal decides it's okay to let Lunatic go, that Lunatic does not intend any harm. But of course, this means the colony has to choose to accept Lunatic back into their ranks as their guide, their shepherd, their moral leader. The colony chooses to continue to trust Lunatic. And Orange, the wild person, has decided to go visit some mechanoids at the top. Orange not as smart as the colonists who stay far away from said mechanoids. Reza's sad about the loss of Orange. Anthro still chooses not to wear any clothes. They are getting quite the tan in the extreme desert. The colony does want to start to work towards taking out the mechanoids, so we're building defenses, mortars, and crafting shells, and hoping to lob those shells from a distance at the drone ship that's making everyone very unhappy. Coral needs to officially take on the role of leader. Coral has already been this role in the colony for a very long time, but Coral's officially taking on the role. And it is time, Lunatic. Let's start to work on the droner, the drone ship that's making us very sad. Lunatic is gonna try. Lunatic, please shoot the drone ship. Anthro's starting to feel very chilly. Even though this is permanent summer, occasionally it gets pretty cold in the desert. Now is not the time for the birthday suit. We're nearing the last quadrum of the year and the coldest time for this map. Lunatic does very well with the first shot. The next shot takes out a Lancer, and the ship is down to 50% when Lunatic can no longer find any shells. Ooh, very nice. Nakapal took out 2 more of the mechanoids, though the ship remains at 50%. The ship is really what's causing the moods in the colony. Anthro is so mad. Anthro hates the clothing on their back, decides that they want to throw a tantrum instead, believes that it's unfair for anyone to make Anthro wear not only clothing, but tattered clothing at that. And as Antro is taking out their frustration, the drone intensifies, making everyone in the colony more upset. Coral, having a mood debuff for darkness while in a very well-lit freezer. The ship is still at 50%. This colony is really struggling with the droner. The droner at an extreme level puts Coral into a catatonic state. Coral is down. Coral can't handle the intensity of this. Reza, who's doing a lot better than Coral despite the high intensity drone. Anthro, figuring out the best way to handle their mood, is a little doobie. Enjoy. And once again, we are going to try lobbing some shells at the ship to hopefully fix the moods a bit from afar. The poor colonists are really struggling. Oh. Please, Nakabal, please. Kill the mechs. Nakabal takes a couple of attempts, is no longer able to find any, and gives up for the day. Kay calls us. 33-year-old hunter looking for help is being chased by all of our enemies, is too frantic to offer any information, and he just wants our help. Asks for us to let him stay. In this case, we're feeling generous. We also need some help ourselves, so we accept Kay into our ranks. Kay, please come join us, and please do not walk through the mechanoids. Perfect. Kay comes in from the south, walking up towards the base, is a very good shooter. We're gonna call Kay Captain Calamity Jane. Captain Calamity Jane being chased by raiders. I think that's the perfect name for you. Kay, welcome in. Kay is a very good fighter. I love to see that. Is kind and has a chemical fascination. Luckily, we do have some drugs, so I think that's okay. We're gonna give Kay a gun. Whatever decisions Kay made to make these hostile factions chase them, we have no idea. Captain Calamity Jane is here, not telling the secrets of their past, but is willing to stand with this colony until the end at all costs. Lunatic also falls to the extreme psychic drone, falls into a catatonic state. Lunatic also down. Nakabal, can we do a few more shells, please? Nakabal working on the shells, trying to get us back in a state where we can get rid of this droner. If we can get rid of the droner, we'll be so much better off. The mechanoids will approach us, and we can recover these moods. Well, Cassandra says no. Cassandra says infestation time in one of the many areas with open, deep mountain. The bugs are here. The bugs are trying to reclaim a land that was once theirs and theirs alone. Now, the raiders have arrived, the raiders who are chasing Captain Calamity Jane. The raiders have arrived, some at the top, right next to a mech cluster. Let's watch the chaos ensue. Miniguns down, Molotovs are gone. There's raider groups coming in from all angles. The group at the top is actually causing some pretty decent damage to the mech cluster. The raiders are coming in next for the infestation, taking over the infestation and shooting each other as well. We have one group fleeing. They decided that they could not beat the mechs and are on their way. Those that can are escaping. We have a group here that's shooting another group. I love to see that. And our colonists are catching up on rest. The mech cluster at the top has been mostly taken out. The mechs are approaching because of that. They're trying to defend their space. There's an area here at the bottom with just explosions, exploding weapons, fire everywhere. More people fleeing, but really they appear to be dead. And I think at this time we might actually be approached by some enemies. So let's get into position behind some of our sandbags, our lizard sandbags, as the raiders are starting to come into our defenses. Now, this is a problem because this quantity of raiders is something we are not prepared for with this current setup. We've never taken on this many people, and I do not believe that we have enough fighters to handle this. It's maybe our turrets will help us be successful. Maybe. Knockabout, please take out this one who's using some of the cover. One of the groups is fleeing. Yes. Okay, so we only have a few that are still attacking within here. The rest are focused on fleeing. The ones that are fleeing can just flee. They might break down some of my doors, but please just leave. Just leave. You're fine. Just leave. There are still a lot of them inside our base. Let's try to take out some of them to save on resources. Good work, team. I cannot believe this, especially with coral and lunatic and catatonic states. This colony that they created, these people that they found and accepted into their home, these people stood behind them, protected them, defended them while they were downed with a health condition. And these people protected them in their time of need. Now, the mechanoids did approach, and our colonists are in a really bad mood. So Captain Calamity Jane, Anthro, and Not Cabal are trying to take on the mechanoids by themselves. Now, we do still have lots of turrets. These three, Anthro, Captain Calamity Jane, and Not Cabal, are taking out the pikemen. Anthro's still in really rough shape, but mood-wise is doing okay. Now, centipedes are pretty bad to fight at a range, and I think we'd be probably better off meleeing them, which does mean that we're going to need to get rid of our turrets. We're not going to be able to utilize our turrets. Now, the centipede is stopping behind the doors to attack the turrets. Reza has tended our prisoner. Maybe Reza can come join us. The centipede is not approaching. Probably because they were going to attack the turrets some more. Maybe now that the turrets are off, they'll approach. We're going to try to get into position to melee, and in doing so, Anthro gets down, Captain Calamity Jane gets on fire. Knockaball does make it into a melee position, but Knockaball by themselves, this is a little rough. Maybe we can get Reza to put out the turret, and we can get Captain Calamity Jane to help Knockaball fight. There's a raider who's trying to get in Captain Calamity Jane's way, but Captain Calamity Jane is on fire. They're running past them. Anthro downed is fine as long as they don't catch on fire. Reza trying to put out some of the fires. Reza now in a very risky position next to a turret that is on fire and getting shot at further by the centipede. Captain Calamity Jane was still on fire. Knockaball's down. Captain Calamity Jane is meleeing this centipede. Reza trying to put out the fires so these turrets don't explode. Reza, I don't know what to do. Captain Calamity Jane is down. Reza is the only one still standing in the colony. Reza, it's time for you to do it. Bad back old lady Reza. Come on, you can do it. Time to melee a centipede. Now you're probably thinking, well, at this point, maybe you should just shoot them. Reza is not very good at either task. We're going to turn back on the turrets and have a last stand. Reza, can you do it? Reza, please take out the centipede. The turrets are doing their best, but they might shoot you now, so let's turn them off. Come on, Reza. Come on, Reza. Come on, Reza. If Reza can get the centipede down, we might be okay. Now remember, Reza's not the only one putting damage into the centipede. There have been numerous people that have already melee fought the centipede. The turrets are exploding. Captain Calamity Jane gets up. Captain Calamity Jane, equip the uranium spear. Equip a spear. Melee. Help. Rez is down. Captain Calamity Jane is now meleeing. Captain Calamity Jane is now holding the last stand. Anthro is down, but Anthro's not bleeding out. Actually, Rez is the only one bleeding. And Captain Calamity Jane falls to the ground. Our friend Sathric arrives. Sathric is here. The brother of Not Cabal. Sathric has arrived to try to save their brother's settlement, their brother's people, their brother's new home. Sathric is going to do whatever they can. Sathric is really just a person with a gun and a little bit of a shooting skill. Sathric is tough and doesn't mind blood and guts, but Sathric is no doctor. Sathric is going to need to get something. Let's get these EMPs instead of the gun. I think an EMP is going to serve you better in this particular situation. Now, Sathric is not in range with the EMPs and gets shot. Nakabal gets up. Nakabal is up. The brothers are going to hold a final stand. Brothers. Nakabal, Anthro's on fire. Come back. Come back. Anthro's on fire. Now, the centipede attacking our wind turbines is not a big deal. It's actually better than them coming after us, giving Not Cabal a chance to put out the fire on Anthro. Not Cabal now shooting and gets shot and falls down again. Sathric, now Not Cabal is on fire. Anthro's on fire again. Sathric is no longer on fire. Sathric, please, please, come back. Come back, you can do this. The centipede is actually going into the crafting room and attacking our batteries. Sathric uses the opportunity, hopefully being sneaky, to quickly put out the fire on the friends, is unsuccessful, gets lit on fire again. And though Sathric is able to put out the fire on themselves, they are continuously struggling to keep up with the fire around their friends. Please prioritize the fire that's on Anthro. Oh my goodness. And now, putting out the fire on Nakabal, the centipede is going after the biofuel refinery. That's fine. Can you come over here? Sathric's gonna try to make a sneaky move. Sathric going to EMP the centipede right inside this room. Come on, Sathric, you can do it. After the EMP is successful, get into position for a quick stun. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get around, go. Go, go, go. Sathric now melee punching the centipede. Things are exploding. It's fine. Sathric is holding a final stand against the centipede once more. The centipede having so much damage from turrets, from punches, from shots. Please just go down. Please just go down. Sathric doing everything in their power to take down the centipede so they can rescue their friends. The room is open to the outdoors, which is good because otherwise Sathric would probably be overheating. Luckily, that heat is escaping and Sathric is just focused on standing up long enough to go rescue their friends on the ground over here. Sathric, you can do it. In their catatonic, comatose state, Coral and Lunatic dream about fields of corn in rich, fertile soil, and friends, and parties, playing chess, and eating fine meals, and comfortable temperatures, comfortable beds, high quality medicine. They think of these things, they think of the things that they should have had deserved to have, but never had. Their friends lying on the ground, suffering in pain, feeling their wounds fester from dirt and germs. Reza watching the blood slowly leak from their sores. And Sathric stands up. Sathric grabs a meal, grabs a knife, and going to take one more attempt. Unsuccessfully so. Sathric knew the risk of coming to help their brother. Coral feels a disturbance. Coral knows Coral's needed. Coral gets up. Coral walks straight towards the centipede, knowing that their friends have deadly infections. Coral, not even thinking, forgets to get a weapon, picks up a spear lying on the ground near them, and continues stabbing, prodding, slashing, doing whatever Coral can do to take out the centipede, to fight this final stand, to hopefully tend those wounds. Coral gets stunned. Coral's starting to feel dizzy. Coral's starting to feel weak. The centipede slowing down. The centipede taking damage. Coral, you can do it. Come on, Coral. Coral, cheering herself on, gives herself combat command, says, we can do it. My friends, this is our last chance. Coral, please. The centipede is slow. Coral is slow. They're both tired, exhausted. Not Cabal lays on the ground with their eye and their stomach bleeding. Anthro feeling sad, thinking about wearing clothes at the end of their life. Captain Calamity Jane still grateful that we chose to try to protect them, but feeling guilty about what it cost the colony. Coral wondering about the decision to accept Captain Calamity Jane as well. Coral knew it was always a long shot. She heard rumors of other people trying to survive in this extreme desert and dying very quickly. Coral had no idea what was in store, and she surely did not expect to live here, to make so many friends. But she did kind of expect it to end something like this. Some of our enemies hear about what is happening, decide that they want to take their shot at raiding and looting and pillaging. They're surprised to find not just people, but resources. They pick up Coral, they pick up Anthro, they pick up Sathric. They walk away, they take them with them. They don't notice Lunartic, and Lunartic stays where they are. The raiders decide to leave some fire in their wake. Lunartic dies of hunger. That's it. That's the story. Everyone is dead or gone. Story is over. Perhaps someone else will find a use for the ruins of this place. Thank you so much for watching. See y'all next time.